Hello all. Good evening. A warm welcome to all of you to this webinar organized by Comet Cares Hub. It's a great pleasure to meet you all in this talk on how to become a Flutter developer. With not wasting any more time, we have our speaker today, Dr. Dinesha HA. So I'll give a brief introduction about him. So Dr. Dinesha HA is a fledgling entrepreneur, indulged passionately in serving and uplifting society through advanced research, innovation, and knowledge, imparting in the arena of engineering and technology. He is the founder of IT industry named Cybersena R&D India Private Limited in the domain of cybersecurity and forensic investigations. He is presently a postdoctoral fellow in the cyber forensic domain. He has completed his research in PhD, post-graduation in MTech in software engineering, and undergraduation in BE and diploma in computer science and engineering. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
And thank you so much for being here in spite of your hectic schedule, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Monisha and Comedicers for the opportunity. So I wholeheartedly welcome all the participants. Good evening, all. It's just a discussion. Feel free to discuss on anything with respect to the Flutter. The topic is the Flutter development. So a platform is open. Feel free to discuss on any stuff with respect to. It's another 30 minutes. I'll be online as per the schedule. Okay, so we'll discuss openly. You can post a chat if you are not comfortable. You can switch on your video if you want, and you can speak directly whatever the doubts you have. It's a platform is open. Okay, so let's begin, Manisha, till the time so they come forward. Yeah, we can
yes,
start.
Sir. I guess they are joining. They'll join it.
Yeah.
Yes, students, it will be an interactive session where I'll most ask questions about Flutter. I'll go and ask sir, so he'll be answering that. Later, we'll keep you students can also ask, or in between also you can interrupt us and you can ask doubts. And if you're not comfortable, you can put it in the chat box also. So, yes, sir. Like everyone is saying Flutter, Flutter, Flutter. So why is Flutter blooming in a present situation? And why is the talk of the town?
Correct. So because necessity is the mother of invention. We know. So necessity, needs are very important. So the currently industries are facing two challenges. One is when they want to develop their own company app for the marketing or branding or any service point of view, the challenge is they have to develop in two programming platform. One is with respect to the Android, another with respect to the Apple iOS, right? So the two major, both are in different wing. Apple is using Java programming with Android Studio. Sorry, and Android developments are using Android Studio with Java, and whereas Apple is using Xcode with Swift programming language. Both are in the different directions. Now the challenge is, so Google is thinking now to merge this challenge and to solve this challenge with a single platform. Single platform is nothing but a Flutter. So it is a single platform. It is using a dark programming language. And once the app is developed using Flutter, so it can suit to multiple operating system. It may be Android, or it may be Apple iOS, or it may be Mac, it may be Windows, or in Linux. So this cross-platform development gives more advantage to all the industries, because when the marketing agencies like or social media like Instagram and all, they have to have two different apps. One is for Android OS, another one is for Apple iOS. So this is a drawback. And the patches, every time the patches updation should be done in the Play Store, through Play Store. There's another drawback. So we want at present, the solution is one development should suits to multiple platforms. It may be Android, iOS, Linux, Windows, or anything. And also it should be fast development, and it should have a very tiny headache, because if you want to install some apps, it takes 92 MB, 128 MB, like that. It's a big size app. So the size in the mobile also matters, the mobile configuration. So we wanted one app platform which will reach all the operating system along with the short duration, along with the updated patch. So the Google come out with the solutions called Flutter. Why Flutter? Because earlier Google was dealing with the Dart programming language, so that they have used it again. The same thing they have utilized, and they introduced this particular platform called Flutter. Flutter was released initially in the May 6, 2020, 1.12 the versions. That was the first Flutter version released. It was a Flutter interactive event. Okay. The after later they come out with the Flutter Engage event in the year March 3, 2021. Then they started and released the stable version in the year 2021, and in the May recently, May 12th, 2022, Google announced Flutter 3 and Dart 2.17 version. So both giving highest platform, that becomes a talk of the town actually. Now the no challenges are there for a Google, because Google is a giant company, it's the biggest company, and Google is introducing a cross-platform, software development platform. So that was a very good for the market. So everybody blindly go for Flutter. So every company wants single app, single software development, not the two things. One is for Apple iOS, one is for Android. No such bottleneck. Okay, so that is the one thing. Another thing is the Flutter apps uses Dart virtual machine. Dart virtual machine. So it is they call it as ahead of time compilation. If any developers are here, they know the meaning of ahead of time compilation. Means it is a native compilation. Once we return the code in Flutter, once it's compiled, so once it's, they will call it as a native compilation, ahead of time compilation. Once it is run, it can be run in any platforms. Need not be Android, need not be any particular, Mac OS or something like that. It can be run in any platform. Earlier, the name was Sky. The project of Flutter was Sky, the first initial name, but later it has been changed to Flutter. Okay, so this is where the I told, as for your question, necessity is the mother of invention and the development. Now necessity is there, so Google, such a big company, is released a platform and solution, so everybody is relying on, obviously everybody blindly go for Flutter as per my knowledge. Thank you. Hope I answered.
Yes, sir. I guess students also got what I asked and what answer sir answered. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, your video is paused, I guess.
My video is paused. No, your
Yes.
video is paused. Yeah. They checked out.
Yes, sir. Now it's good.
Yeah, we are back, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Great.
So next, yeah, like how can a student become a Flutter developer? So like what are the advantages or disadvantages when it comes to an IT student or non-IT student, like from CS background or without CS background? How will it be advantages or disadvantages?
Yeah, see, it's a good question. CS background is not may not be must, because even mechanical, even electronics, electrical students can start developing a Flutter, and also even civil, they know rendering process, so they can also start developing a Flutter. And also in engineering, they learned object-oriented programming skill. universally across all the departments, right? So that is enough, good enough. Object oriented programming, a strong knowledge, if that is there, and if they have exposure of Git, and it's a good communication, if they have, they can definitely go for start developing a Flutter. But another is if they know Dart programming language, that is plus, that is a advantage. Otherwise also they can learn Dart programming language, because it's all the things is required is OOPS, object oriented programming concepts, C++ programming or Java programming, that they can cope up, they can easily learn, and they can come out. For the learning point of view, they have an option, flutter.development. It's an official website is there. So that official website, they can go for it and they can understand. So how to learn? So they can first start with the OOPS concept, then they can start looking at the GitHub, and then they can go for some YouTube videos also. So that gives a more weightage. Okay. And when they want to learn, they can go for app delivery, Flutter apprenticeship, Flutter and Dart courses. They can take that complete course. There is one book called Flutter and Dart, the complete guide, 2021 edition. So if they go for that, I think they will understand the Flutter framework better, and they can start developing the thing. And so of course it may takes not more than 2 weeks. If they are really dedicated, 2 weeks is good enough. So if they're really slow learner, they can go for up to 1 month. Fast learner can pick up in just 2 weeks maximum. Okay, so that's enough. And so 40 hours continuous learning is required, or 40 hours, however they segregate. They may complete in a continuous day, or they may complete in a month, or they may complete in half quarter. Continuous 40 hours, so they dedicated time, so that they can pick up better. Yeah,
it's same like when we go to other fields also in the IT field. So
yes,
where other background students also join to IT.
correct,
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they can
So,
start.
like, yes, sir. We'll go
Yeah.
move to the next question. So everything trending is short-lived. We know that, like something it is blooming now. Flutter is blooming now. Everything trending is short-lived. Does that mean that the demand for Flutter developers too will go down?
You mean age of the, what could be the duration, booming duration of particularly Flutter, you're asking, right?
Like in the future, how is the career or
No,
what's the?
future is really bright, because Flutter development is the need of the hour. When Android is released in the market, anybody in the audience side, when the Android was first invented, because I'm just comparing Flutter with the Android, you can message in the chat box. Okay, Android, when the Android is it's introduced in the year 2003. Now it is a 2023. 20 years span. 20 years span, Android is there. Another 10 year, there is no issues. That means 30 years Android is sustained, which is released by Google only, right? Earlier, it was developed by Andy Rubin, who was inventor of Android. So he kept his name and made it as an Android. Okay. So then later Google is taken over. Google is taken over that particular Android, and it made it popular, and it is made it grown to the top level. Another 10 years, there is no worry for Android. That means past 20 and another next 10 years, 30 years is a good duration. Anybody in the professional, so who passed out in the year 2003, so now 2000 till 2033 they can sustain. That means it's a complete age, experienced age, working age is fulfilled. So Flutter is another takeover. So Flutter is just in the starting stage. It's a good time to learn the Flutter, because it is released successfully in the market in the 2022. So just hardly 4-5 months old. If they start focusing on the Flutter at this moment, Another 30 years, they don't have to turn back their face because it's such a vibrant platform. It started cross-platform. So everybody will look into the Flutter and the development is really excellent. Okay. So once they thorough with the Flutter, okay. So obviously they may, take further steps and becoming a manager and becoming a director, or it's a good platform to become entrepreneur. They can empower themselves, they can be independent, they can start their own industry in Flutter because that is where they can develop the apps for the big companies, startup companies. So being a startup company, so they can serve big companies and get the there. So that's a good thing. So in the other way, if they really want to focus and to be in the safer side, they can focus on few, app development language like Kotlin, Rust, the F sharp. So these are all the another options they have. But the Flutter is released by Google. The Google will not let the Flutter to go down. So Google will take care because the Android was done by, taken up by Google only. Okay, so there is nothing to worry with respect to the Flutter. There is no second thought. Can be go ahead. So the only drawback with the Flutter is, so they have to be work with the towards web browser side. The browser side they are still working. Probably next release they can cope up. So now they have reached the excellent cross-platform, which reach web everything. Okay, so that is where the things coming to picture. And there are many programming languages: Clojure, Elixir, PureScript, Swift, Go, Dart, Apache, Groovy. They can focus multiple things, nothing wrong. But Flutter will definitely another 30, 40 years, no worry at all, because that is the one which required across the platforms. Yeah, hope I answered. Yeah.
Okay, like this was my next this was, can somebody look at a long-term career opportunity in Flutter? So you answered
Yes.
that in that question.
Yeah. So it's 30 years
So it's a
they
S
can
for that.
serve and they can, yeah. So minimum 30 year I can assure because of the, the excellency in the particular Flutter platform, because it's reaching the cross platform, multiple platforms. That's a great thing in the Flutter.
Okay, we have two questions from our student side. So,
Yeah.
so Flutter is a platform to develop apps, or is it a programming languages?
Flutter is a platform to develop apps. The language, programming language you need to learn is Dart. So Flutter uses Dart so that it develops the apps, cross-platform apps, which suits to multiple programming language. Yeah, it's a good question. So there's confusion always there because Flutter and Dart so together. Dart is a programming language, Flutter is a platform. So similar to Android Studio is a environment and JavaScript is a programming language, right? So similar to that. Yeah.
Thank you, Roman. I guess the question was answered. Next, coming to Yoshak's question. What are the products can be built using Flutter other than applications, sir? Any, if
What are the
there are.
products can be built using Flutter? Yeah, so products in the sense it's a apps, particularly apps, whatever they are right now enjoying with Android. It may be WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, it may be Flipkart, Amazon, any apps, Gmail, any apps. So can be developed using Flutter. All the apps can be converted towards Flutter so that it will reach every platforms. It can be run in iOS and it can be run in Android phone.
So other than that, in the present, it's not there. So they have gone. As you told from Google, they are working on web browsers. So it will come in the future. Thank you, Ashok. Now, Anjil has a question. Is Android Studio is not enough to survive, like for the application development? So did you get the question? Android Studio.
What is the advantage over Flutter against Android Studio? It's a good question. Android Studio may be enough for another 10 year or 5 year max, because Android Studio limitation is It can suits to only Android mobiles. It cannot be apply the same app to the Apple iOS or BlackBerry or something like that. So Android is a open source. Android Studio is open source, but Flutter is also open source. Flutter is released by Google itself, because Android was released by Google. Again, it is an updated platform. It is developed. Google only releasing. So it may be good enough for another 5 years or 10 years. After that, it's challenging. Yeah. Yeah,
So
good
how
question.
can GitHub? Yes, sir.
Yeah. How can GitHub
Thank
help
you.
us in learning Flutter, right? Good question. So if you open the GitHub, you go for a Flutter, folder. That Flutter link, you can see many developed apps using Flutter platform. So that app will be your reference for understanding the code and running the project and seeing the project. Already many Flutter apps has been developed in GitHub. You can just open it, GitHub Flutter, so you can enjoy multiple apps and can study the source code, how they developed and all. There are widgets and other stuff, so you can just go through the development, how they did it and what is the application, how the GUI has been developed. All these things will help you for better understanding. Good question. Yeah. Next question.
If we use Flutter to make apps, whether it has a chance of getting hacked or not?
Yeah, it's excellent question. So security, cyber security again coming to
Cyber
this one,
security, it's come to your
yeah.
topic.
Yeah. So it can be, so it's all the skills of developer. Earlier, only software development was the role. Now the role is secure software development is the role. Earlier, whatever the function is needed, suppose if you want to send an email, just send the button. You have to activate and prepare a source code for it. That's enough. But now it's security feature you must add, that can be added in Flutter. So there are multiple functionalities are available. So you have to give authentication, authorization. That means the login credential and strong password technique. And you have to have security privilege in your software. It's all up to software developer, how securely they develop the apps. If the app is secure, they cannot be hacked. If it is not secured, I am 100% sure it can be hacked. It's all about how the app will be developed. Okay, for example, if any junior Flutter developer, if they develop the apps without the security, it can be hacked. Okay, so it's all how skillfully, securely they develop the software. So both chances are there. It depends on the quality and security involved in that software development. Good question, Vandana.
Okay, sir. Okay, we have come to the end of this conversation, sir. Any more questions from the student side? Are there any questions from student side?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. I guess no more questions from the student side. So
Yeah.
today, this talk or webinar. So we got one. So what is the future of blockchain? It's a different topic.
Okay. New questions come. Huh?
Yes, sir. So what is the
Okay.
future of blockchain?
Blockchain future is
Yes,
excellent
for blockchain.
because, yeah, though it is out of the topic here, but it's a blockchain is using hashing technique. Blockchain provides more security and it is a master ledger facility available in blockchain. So blockchain future is excellent. You can also choose blockchain. There's no doubt, because the cryptocurrencies and all the recently whatever the transactions happens, financial, revenue, and all government projects comes in Flutter, the blockchain technology. So future is excellent. So you can go for it. No problem. Next question. Is OS is compatible with Flutter? Yeah. That's a question, no? Next question. Is OS
Yes,
is
sir.
compatible?
Repeat, like continuous of his is, can we combine Flutter and blockchain?
Yes, Flutter. Yes. You can do that. Flutter is app development. So blockchain is a application towards secure transactions. So blockchain uses a platform called NEM and Ethereum for developing a software. Okay, that has a separate platform. So no need to combine. So if they really want application to be advertised using Flutter, can be combined. But the blockchain has its dedicated platform like Ethereum, NEM, and all. So they can develop the software using project using blockchain. The same project can be publicized using Flutter. Can be project in a different way using Flutter. It's a good question. So thinking, okay, cross-platform, hybrid thinking, good, Roman. Next, yeah,
One more from Anzil is OS is compatible with Flutter. OS.
yeah. That's what the advantages of Flutter. So any OS you can install the Flutter apps, and the Flutter apps can run in any OS, no issues. Good.
Students, if you
Anjali,
have
yeah.
any, yes, sir. Okay, students, if you have any more questions, you can send it through your admins of Comet Care. So we'll send it to sir and we'll get you the answers from him. So thank you so much, sir, for joining this session and giving this a wonderful session today for the students.
Yeah.
I guess
Thank
students
you.
had like so much of knowledge through that, and they got how to become a Flutter developer if they are interested in that.
Yeah.
So
They can
this,
switch on they can switch on the
you can
camera so that
switch on your video.
whoever
So
is
that you can,
comfortable. Yeah, please switch on the camera so that we'll have one screenshot. At least we have opportunity to see you. They're all seeing me. Just take 1
I
minute
guess
time.
few
Good.
students here. Few students
Roman.
here.
Yeah. Hi, Roman.
Good evening, sir. Had a great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today, this
Hi.
webinar was organized by Comet Care. So I want to give a brief introduction, like thing of what is Comet Care. Many of few of your students have come from Comet Care sectors who have joined the Comet Care Hub. So Comet Care is an innovation center set up across different regions in Bangalore, Mangalore, Belgaum, Mysore, and Kalburgi to bring together educational institutions, industries, and local communities to build community-centric solutions. So the center trains youth to transform students into compassionate, creative, and progressive technocrats. So in the Comet Case training, students equipped with a knowledge of tools for like prototyping, such as 3D printer, hand tools, laser cutting, Figma workshop, on-chip workshop, etc., etc. The students will also be solving a mega challenge using the tools or like the tools which I have mentioned from learning through that. And these tools which you learn in this internship or in these courses from Comet Case, so you can build your own projects, prototypes, which helps in your engineering career or in the future career, in your student life or in the for the future life. So if you have any idea, it can be converted into prototype. So to convert prototype, you need to learn few tools and all. So we'll be training that, and we have many more sessions like webinars and all, online webinars like this. We have many more informative and innovative sessions, webinars, and internships. So if you are interested from first year and second year, you can join the Comet Cares Hub centers. You can visit there. In your free time, you can visit there, and you can get to know more about Comet Cares. And you can also visit Comet Cares website called cometcares.org. So thank you, sir. And we have come to the end of the session. I thank all students for joining today, and have a great night. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All the
Sure.
best. Best. Do well.
Okay. If you want a recording session, it will be uploaded in the portal also. You can go through that. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.